Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tor and this is Anthropology. Thank you for joining me in today's video. If this is your first time, welcome. My name is Tor. On this channel, I talk about all things fashion related, mostly handbags, sustainable fashion, how to be more intentional within your shopping. If you like this type of content, please consider subscribing, like this video, and comment your experience or your opinion down below. And also, I'm not an expert. All of this is anecdotal. This is just my experience and opinions. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back. Welcome back. So happy to have you. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about basically how I loved shopping. It was my main hobby, but then it turned toxic, and what that meant for me, how that happened, and sort of what I'm doing now on the flip side. If you yourself are experiencing this, if you have experienced this, please comment down below. Please let me know your experience, what you've done, how you've gotten out of it, or if you're still in it, how you're planning on getting out. So I have a few different things that I started to notice within myself. I've made a few videos on this in the past in various aspects, but recently I've really focused on low buy, focused on luxury minimalism, focused on how I can make the best use of my time and money, as well as my brain power. So my first point is that the time I spent dedicated to shopping was taking over my life. I spent hours a day, maybe 2 to 3 hours a day, just scrolling Essence, scrolling Farfetch, scrolling Fashion File, scrolling YouTube to consume content around handbags, and I was always thinking about what bag I was going to buy next. So the time that I dedicated to this, the brain power that I dedicated to this, was leaving very little room for other areas in my life to grow and expand. I didn't spend a lot of time learning languages. That it's one of my passions. I love to learn languages. Right now I'm learning Korean on Duolingo. I had no time to do walks, yoga, just communicate with my partner, play with my cat, watch my fish, you name it. I was spending so much time focused on shopping and focused on acquiring the next bag that I didn't have any room in my life for the other joys. Everything was fashion related, everything was focused on acquiring the next good. And I started to, as I've been coming out of this process, I've really been focusing on why that may be. I think I was trying to fill a void in my life. There was definitely some unhappiness there that I was trying to consume with filling my time, taking my mind off of it, just focusing on acquiring the next best thing so I could have some momentary physical material happiness. Along that same line is that I dedicated all of my brain power to thinking about clothing and thinking about shopping. With that, every second of the day I was like, okay, what bag am I gonna buy? Why would I buy this bag? What's the price of this bag? Should I go see it in person? Should I buy it online? Should I watch a review about it? Should I get it in this color? Should I get it in that color? What about this hardware? Like, you name it, every question about some random good that I saw online, I was thinking about, and I was thinking about how it would work in my collection, how I could incorporate it, how I could style it, etc. And this went on for months. Like, this was like a long thing. This wasn't just like a one-day thing. This was like, shopping took over my life for like a decent portion of 2021. I think it was how I passed the time not thinking about the pandemic, not thinking about all the bad things happening in the world around us. And I really was looking to escape into the material world, escape into shopping, and basically take my mind off of my current situation. So I've been really focused now on gratitude, moving from scarcity mindset to abundance mindset, where I already have everything I need, being really grateful with the things that I have, and focusing more on using my brain power to do other things like low buy, like minimalism, clearing out my space so I can have a clearer mind, as opposed to cluttering my space, which equates to a cluttered mind. Another part is the financial aspect. So I was being very hectic financially. I'm not going to share too much about like my actual personal finances, but I was doing some risky behavior. I am fairly good at saving, but what I noticed over the past year is like the actual money wasn't growing. It would get to a certain amount, then I would take the money out to buy another bag, then I would put the money back because I felt guilty about taking it out, and then I would buy another bag so it'd be gone again. And the cycle would just repeat itself where I felt like I had enough money to purchase all of these items, which In reality, I guess I did, but just because you have the money to buy something doesn't mean you should buy it. So I got really frustrated because I saw like all of my peers, all of my partner, his savings was growing, like the money in the accounts was growing, but mine was staying the same year over year because I was spending so much on shopping. I had this emergency savings fund that I basically treated as like a shopping account, which in reality, that's not good. Don't do that, especially in a pandemic where things can change on a dime. You're not guaranteed tomorrow. You're barely guaranteed today at this rate. So I really wanted to change my risky financial behavior and focus more on long-term sustainable growth, and realizing that the emergency fund that I had set up, which I was using as a shopping account, should no longer be justified for that purchase, and that I should not look at that as I have this amount of money in this account, therefore I can buy this price bag. So throughout this change, I've been really focused on growing my accounts, focusing on how low buy can genuinely better impact my financial situation, and focused on other things like actual investing, actual saving just in general, and also going on trips. So part of that is I've been really focused on changing where my money goes. Now, part of this is since living in a pandemic, we've all been living in it for the past two and a bit years at this rate, there hasn't been much else that we could do with our money. Either you save it or you spend it on material goods. Travel was out of the question. Now that we're coming out of this pandemic, allegedly, who knows? I feel like we are, but at this rate, I really have no idea. We're traveling again, or we're planning to. And I want to focus on experiences again. I don't want to focus on the material. Sure, the material's great. I'm still going to love handbags. I'm still going to talk about them. That's not the point of this video. But I want to expand my experiences. I want to grow again. Basically, throughout this pandemic, I felt like I was living in Groundhog Day. Every day's the same, never left my house. The only thing that made it different was what different bag I was gonna wear. So fashion to me really helped change up my day-to-day within the pandemic. It helped me basically differentiate between the days, differentiate between my moods. And now that we're coming out of the pandemic, I don't feel like I need that crutch anymore. I feel like I can experience things in a different way, and it doesn't all have to be fashion related. Granted, I love fashion, but it shouldn't be taking up all of my mind, and it shouldn't be taking up all of my money. So to round this video out, I love fashion. I loved it a lot, and then it got toxic. It took over my life. It was the main priority in my life, and I feel like that shouldn't be for anybody. However, it's not like we live in a bubble where it's just us experiencing this. In a capitalistic society where we're living, let's say, if you're in North America watching this, then you're really in it. Europe, you know, the West. In a capitalist society, we have to consume in order for the society to work. In order for the economy to keep growing at the pace that capitalism wants it to, we have to consume at that same rate. And thus marketing exists to make us think we need things that we don't. Financial things exist so we can basically save money to buy other things. And I'm really trying to escape that rat race of consumption, comparing myself to everybody online. If they have it, I need it as well. I deleted most of my social media accounts for this purpose in order to get away from shopping, in order to get away from influencer marketing. Instagram is basically all ads now. TikTok is targeted ads as well. So we can't really get away from it, and we're always going to be exposed to it in the society that we live in, but what we can change is how we respond to it. And I've really been focusing on trying to change my response, trying to change my thinking around it, and really focusing on what makes me happy, what's going to bring me peace in my life. And at this rate, I don't think it's another bag. So I found myself recently falling down that hole again, going on scrolling every day, and I have no intention of buying. So focusing on intentionality within my shopping has really been great, because if I find myself on these websites now, like Fashion File, where I know going into it that I have no intention of buying, I just leave. There's no scrolling, there's no nothing, because it would be a waste of time. Why am I scrolling? Why am I devoting so much time to this when I have no intention of buying? So intentionality within all that we do is very important in order to maintain some peace, in order to maintain stability, and that's where I'm really trying to grow further. So if you're along for the ride, thank you so much. This was a fairly rambly video. If you're in the same boat as me, definitely let me know. If you're trying to get out of this boat, let me know as well. Please subscribe if you like this content, and I hope to see y'all next time. Bye, guys.